Hello and welcome back to the Shallow Proclamation. My name is Paul, and as always, I'm joined by.
Thomas.
And we're about to watch part two of the Ambassadors of Death. I'm wondering whether we're going to get a little break here now again, Thomas, and then suddenly it would leap back in with Ambassadors of Death episode 2.
See what he's got to say for himself this time.
Oh yeah,
But that was reshot as well, wasn't it?
it was.
That was shot very differently with the gun zooming in on the gun. Much more effective, actually.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
and the little. Oh, I love that sound.
good.
Don't know what to call that. It's not the Sting, is it? I'm not sure.
He looks a little bit like Rick Moranis.
But there's still no communication from Charles Van Lyten, nor from astronauts Michaels and Lafee.
Feed me, Seymour.
Still no word from them.
Nothing. Space control.
Now, I was thinking I recognised this guy, Thomas, and I looked it up, and I now know who he is.
Okay.
The guy who says Charlie. He is Ronald Allen, and he played one of the Dominators.
Oh yes. What? That's it. That's a great shout, actually.
I was thinking like if I recognise him from a future story, but having looked it up, obviously recognise him from
Yeah.
previous season.
Minutes too soon.
I didn't recognise him without the massive shoulder pads.
Yeah.
I better go.
Look at the barnet on that woman.
Oh wow.
Just like Jon Pertwee. I thought they were just lifting it by hand then for a second. I was like,
Right,
really?
flip that.
It's about a decent budget to get in machinery like this.
Yeah, this is incredible. Yeah.
More helicopters!
They love it, don't they?
Love a helicopter.
Well, that was quite low. Well, look at that mask.
Mm.
Goodness me. This is phenomenal bit of action.
And that helicopters that say G awful. Like-
Yeah, it does.
I really like the visual look of those guys' masks.
Yeah. Like a slasher killer, aren't they?
Yeah. It's like a sort of ice hockey mask type thing.
Yeah.
Jason X.
Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. I think that's actually come off a lot better than the warehouse fight in the last episode. Impressive to have two kind of quite large action scenes like that within the space of 2 episodes, though.
Yeah, that's a good point. It must have been like half the budget.
And yeah, for both of them, really beautifully shot on location as well.
Yeah. And that mask is very cool. Have you seen Spider Plant Man?
No.
This like Spider-Man spoof with Rowan Atkinson.
Right.
There's a bit where he fights Batman at the end, who's played by Jim Broadbent. And he's like, we're now going to have the fight scene, which costs precisely half the budget of this film.
Recovery 7. Do you read me?
Any response yet?
Nothing.
Recovery 7. Do you read me?
Well, I suggest we cut it open.
I've got men with thermal lances standing by.
I think I'm getting something.
They have got the capsule. What went wrong?
I don't know yet. They've started to crack the code, too.
What are you going to do about UNIT?
It's already been dealt with. They've got quite a surprise coming.
Hello, Recovery 7. Do you read me? Hello, Recovery 7. Do you read me?
Hello, Space Control. This is Recovery 7. Will you clear us for re-entry?
Charlie, this is Ralph Cornish. You are back at Space Control. Open the capsule.
We are not cleared for re-entry.
Charlie, you're back at Space Control. What's wrong? Open the hatch.
Hello, Space Control. This is Recovery 7. Will you clear us for re-entry?
Ooh.
It's a bit like, hey, who turned out the lights?
Hello, Van Lyten. What is the capital of Australia?
We are not cleared for re-entry.
How many beans make 5?
Hello, Space Control. This is Recovery 7. Will you clear us for re-entry?
Van
We're
Lyden.
not cleared for re-entry.
Right, cut it open.
Nice.
That was very good.
Doesn't that sting make every cliffhanger much more dramatic?
Oh, it's so good. It's genius. Because it gives a little ramp.
Yeah, it does. Really, that's a good description. Sort of ramps into that moment. So
Rather than a hard cut. Yeah.
yeah, or like when you just get a massive hold on someone, and then the credits would start to come down across the shot. The silence to begin with.
Do they make it even longer in the modern era?
Yeah, well, so I think even within, it may be from the next story onwards. I'm not sure, but because the sting now it doesn't start with the credits. It starts over the footage, doesn't it?
Oh,
So that
So
push,
good.
yeah, that sort of that ramps that moment up even more. I think having it over the footage rather than as part of the credits itself.
Genius.
Yeah. So where are you on this one at the moment?
I'm really enjoying it. I think a standout moment for me was this attempt to steal the capsule with the helicopter, dropping the little bombs out of the helicopter, and then like it looked like, you know, pretty big budget James Bond level, really impressive. Felt the jeopardy of it, and then that lovely twist at the end where it's like, "Can you clear us for re-entry?" Well, hang on a second, the capsule's on Earth. And then the doctor discovered, oh, is this being looped or something? It's not responding properly. And then he's like, right, cut it open. So what's going to be inside, Paul? What's going to be inside?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think for me, as similar, well, same as you really, the scene of the helicopter, you know, the helicopter and the attack on the capsule and trying to capture that, I thought, yeah, brilliantly well done and much
What
more
about
effective.
the droid attack on the Wookiees?
Much Kiadi Mundi. Yeah, much more effective than the warehouse scene in the previous one. But as I said, impressive that they have gone. You know, they've attempted 2 big action scenes within the first 2 stories. Because you always, I mean, Doctor Who is notorious for being made on a shoestring and, you know, having a bad budget, really. So the fact they've done all that so far with just 2 episodes already, is very impressive. I really like the design of the masks of the guys when they were attacking. It's a really interesting choice. It kind of gave them a sort of futuristic kind of look to them as well. That's because they were the metallic silver, that just very striking. The other things to do right at the beginning and end of the episode, the cliffhangers or the resolution. Well, not the resolution. I liked the way the cliffhanger to the end of episode 1 was reshot in episode 2. It was just much more effective. You know, as soon as they come through the door, the guy slams, you know, Tartalians, closes the door behind them, pulls the gun, and the camera zooms straight in on the gun, whereas before it held and there was a kind of shot. It makes you kind of wonder why they didn't shoot it like that in the first place. Like, maybe you would assume in this day and age, you'd have done all that prep well in advance, not sort of episode by episode. So I wonder if there's still an element of working like that, which means that they do it and then they look back and go, maybe we could do it a bit tighter this time. We'll do it this way. I don't know how long that goes on for. I don't know if people in the comments will know. At what point do they stop reshooting the beginning of episodes and just start using the footage? But yeah, so I like that though. I thought the kind of coming out of the cliffhanger, the way it was done was really good. But the ending as well, like you say, when the Doctor realizes and the way he just says, cut it open, the way Pertwee delivers it, there's a real sort of seriousness to it and an urgency.
And then the sting just completes it.
Yeah, and I don't think Troughton could have done that. I don't think Troughton doesn't have this. Troughton could be serious, but I think Pertwee has a different level of there's an authority from Pertwee. Troughton's thing was always very much being the he would act the fool,
Yeah.
but actually be the genius and stuff. But he was always kind of quite childlike and a bit of an impish character, and even in those moments, whereas Pertwee is he's a much sterner figure in some ways, isn't he?
Yeah.
Much more serious. So
He's definitely not twee.
no, nothing like that. So yeah, for me, it's worked well. And I'll be honest, I've been a little hesitant about this story because I don't think it's got a bad reputation necessarily, but most people, I think, view it as the weakest story of the season.
Right, okay.
And well, maybe more than that. Maybe not just the weakest of the four, but I think some people find it a bit of a drawn out slog. But so far, I mean, we've got a long way to go still. It's ticked the boxes for me, so I'm quite happy.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wrap up there, guys. As always, do give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It just helps us get seen and reach more people. If you know people that you think might be interested in this, point them in our direction. And if you want to chat more about Doctor Who, come and join us on our Discord server. The link is in the description. Otherwise, we'll see you soon for episode 3. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone.